Hey Larry, it's Rob, Swing Vision Pro. Want to get your video out to you so you have some more information to take a look at. This is after you've been making a couple of swings. We've worked together a little bit, so we're going to see a little bit of progress here, and then what I'm going to do is let this run a couple of times, see what you were doing, then I'm going to bring you back here. And again, this is after we made a little bit of progress, and then we'll talk about what's going on, and then we'll go to some of the latter swings that you did that were really a lot better. Okay? So for right now, I'm just going to let it run through like 3 swings. So take a look. This is what we got right now. Watch another one. All right, so let's stop it and bring it back to where we were in the beginning here. All right, you can tell right now, even right now, your setup has changed quite a bit, okay? You took to heart some of the stuff we talked about, and it looks good. All right, so if we're going, first of all, we want to look at the setup, the knee flex, come right down. Okay, you're a little too bent right here because they're more out on your toes. As we talked about, I really would prefer to see this thing. You're pretty close. For me, I'd like you to stand up just a little taller to be able to use the ground to push off of a little better. But the spine angle is absolutely 10 times better. We come to the spine angle now. Remember how we had all those bends going on? It could be a little bit better. Getting the head back a little bit more is going to help us out. Basically raising that chin. We talked about looking down your nose at the golf ball. Okay, let's get you in your halfway back position. The issue we're still having here when we start working on this right here is we're allowing that left shoulder to travel independently. We want to keep that in check until we start to make our hip rotation. So here we go. You'll watch that left shoulder, and what that's going to do to you, Larry, is going to put you behind yourself, or what we call trap behind you. Here we go. So left shoulder starting to move right now, right as you start to take the ball back, take the club back, pardon me. So right as we start doing that, we do that, let me cheat you up into it just a little bit here in your halfway. So we'll notice that shoulder is going to move past our line that we set up, as our setup position. As soon as that does that, take it a little farther back. What we're doing right here, let me take it back to about right here. This is actually your halfway back position right here. About right here is really. What you can see from this is that if I take a line off this club, it is actually going behind you. And that's all due to the shoulder up here independently activating on its own. Okay, so we must keep that in line. Right here, you're not in horrible shape. What I would ask you to do is let's retard that left shoulder a little bit, bring the hands in a little closer. If I look at your line, it's pretty close. Right here, if I come off the line, pardon me, wrong tool, grab the right one. If I come off the line of your shadow, it's pretty close. It's just not exactly right, okay? If I should draw this in here, which is our target line again, so it's pretty close. I'd like to see the hands in, this a little more in front of you, and more level at this point, also retarding that left shoulder, okay? I'm going to take you around to the top, and we're still getting a little bit of blockage right there, so our arm's going to bend, but the biggest culprit right here is the big amount of separation that we're creating under this right arm, okay? This must stay tacked into the body. Stay in your knee flex really well. If I come here and look at the knee flex again, you're stepping out a little bit, but not horrible. I'd like to see that stay in a little bit better, but this is the big culprit right here, okay? It's causing a little bit of bend because our head is still down just a hair too much. All right, get rid of that, show you a little bend, what we got going on here. It's not horrible, but it's, you know, we got about a 41-degree bend. We want to get that completely straight. And as we talked about, this is a lever mechanism. If this right arm is tucked in, that left arm is going to become a lot straighter. The other thing I'll bring to your attention, we got a little bit of a cup going on, and that wrist right there, not horrible, but it's just a little bit going on. I'd want to get rid of that and have this club, what we talked about, a little more laid off for you here. As we talked about too, that will match your swing plane a little bit better. In that area right there, and you see how those match a little bit better? So you're actually over swinging here, which is taking you disconnected from your body, so it's going to make you make more of an arm swing. So here we come down into it. Much better. Good. Just a little late, and actually a little early, which means that club base come in a little close, so this ball is going to travel to the left a little bit on you, okay? So we talked about that release drill. I want you doing a whole bucket of balls of that before you get started. Let's take a look at some of the ladder stuff. There we go. Let me pull this up, get you started on this, get this out of the way. Let's take a look at this. This is after we worked pretty good on this. Let me just let this run, and then I'll come back and stop it where I want to stop it. Much better. Okay, let's go back to that. Stop it right there. Take it back. Setup is 10 times better there. Okay, get you here. Okay, now look at our setup. Chin's high this time. Very nice, very nice. Now look at our line. Now look at our line. Very nice. Very, very nice. Knee flex is beautiful. You're right on the balls of your feet this time. That's exactly where I want to see it. Very nice, my friend. Very nice. Setup is beautiful. Setup is beautiful. Chin is high. We're going to have room for that left shoulder to travel. Let's get you in your halfway back position. I still think we got a little bit of work to do with this left shoulder, okay? Draw you in right here, left shoulder. We'll watch that as we take you back. Bear with me. I'm going to cheat you into it. Halfway back position. Yep, see, we're coming. We're letting, see how much that shoulder's traveled. Even right here, let me just go incrementally. Even right here, we're only about 18 inches away from the ball, and look how much of this shoulder has come up ahead of that line that we established at address. That's about 4 inches of shoulder. We want that completely parallel till we get halfway back, okay? So that's going to tend to want you to get crossed up. Okay, hands are coming back a little bit better right here. All I want to see right here, Larry, is the hands coming back into you, so we can. Right now, I'm going to show you a couple things here with a red line. Right now, your bicep is hanging vertically, while your spine angle is at an angle here, okay? We want the arm to pin back to your side and actually mimic the spine angle, okay? So if we can get that, hands in closer, get this a little level, it's really looking a hell of a lot better. It's starting to get trapped behind you because of this left shoulder. That's our culprit. But if I look at the line, it's a whole lot better than what we were doing before. Now if I draw this one in green too, which is the target line, you'll notice these two match. That's what we're looking for. Geometry and physics, my friend. Geometry and physics, okay? So it's a much better halfway back position. The only culprit right now, I think, is this left shoulder right here. That's what's really screwing us up and take you up to your top. Now, we talked about overswinging and everything. Right here, I think you're going to make a practice here. Take you back. I'm going to get you back to the top. Right here, actually right here, is where I want you stopping for right now. I get rid of all this stuff and show you. If I draw your spine angle from where you're at right now, pardon me, wrong tool, grab the right one. If I draw your swing plane in right here where you are right now, and then if I get you to stop in this area right here as opposed to over swinging, it's going to cause a lot of different things to happen. Number one, geometrically, we're set up to hit a nice straight golf ball, okay? Nice straight golf swing, nice straight golf flight, all right? So this, my friend, is the top of your backswing. Notice how well you're connected right in here. That right arm still. Notice how well this club, the left arm is straight, and now you've got a flat wrist. So look how little of this club head I'm starting to see. Remember that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh move we talked about? I look at this right here. Look at that club head. It's nice and flat, just like Ricky's was. So now we're going to be able to cut through that air and increase our speed being at least 10 miles per hour. But you're, like most amateurs right now, you're wanting to get a little extra. You don't need it because now we're making a body swing, so you're not going to need this, right? So this is a good looking position. You do continue this on, which breaks your plane and causes a lot of different complications. From right here, you're in a perfect hitting position, my friend. If you just drop down and fire your hips, you're going to cover that ball from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock while rotating your hands. You're going to establish a very nice, powerful, accurate, straight ball flight. Okay, but you'll see in this video you do overextend that, and we call that overswinging. You don't need it. I know you've done it for your entire life, and that's what's hard to break, but you don't need it. I promise. Look at Ricky Fowler. If he can hit 400-yard drives doing just this, then if it's good enough for Butch Harmon, it's good enough for Ricky Fowler. I think it's good enough for you, sir. All right, so we're going to take you in this. I'm going to let you go so you see you are overswinging. Now, look, if I draw your line in here, okay? This is what they've always taught. Oh, get parallel to the line, okay? Well, unfortunately, it's going to create a much... I can already start to see this wrist starting to bow a little bit, so it's going to close that, open that club head up like we're sticking it out the window there. That's what we want to get rid of, okay? So if I get you back down in your backswing, if we got to right here and stopped, get rid of everything. Okay, actually go back a little farther. If we got to right here and stopped, now if I draw this in, again, swing plane, and again, shaft plane, they match. This is what we must have, my friend, to be able to be consistent, all right? And we got to stabilize that head so we're coming in the same angle of attack at the same time every time. So it looks good, a lot of work to do. We're making changes. We're changing your entire golf swing, all for the better, I suppose, but we're going to change your golf swing a little bit. And anytime we start making changes, we've got to do it at half speed and make sure we understand what's going on in the golf swing, all right? Going to bring you down into impact now. See how flat that is coming into impact? Now I'm going to cause a rotation of the hands. A little late, just a little late, and I told you, a bucket of balls so we can see, because this ball is actually traveling from left to right. And I told you the cup is dead center for us, set up it wise. So if I draw a line in the cup, it's going this way. Well, you're bisecting my line, all right? We want you hitting it straighter. So right there, it's just, if I take a look at the rotation, it's a little late. Your hands are rotating just a tad late. So again, bucket of balls going right, you need to speed it up. Going left, you need to slow it down a little bit. Come around to finish for me. Finish looks good. Finish looks really good. Transferring the weight really nicely. Okay? Would like to see this club continue on up to a higher position up here and to come across your back, sir. That's going to give us the complete weight transfer, and this is what you're going to see on Sunday. All right? So that's what I got for you. Work on those things we talked about, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future. For right now, I'm going to wish you a great big warm aloha.